How's everybody doing? It's raining right now. A lot of times when it rains, you've seen many videos I've made. I say, you might hear the rain. Might hear the rain. A lot of times I go sit outside when it's raining, because every time the house of David loses a prophet, it rains. I go outside and I sit and I think, is today my day? It's been a long one, people. It's been long. Sorry, I had to collect my thoughts. Today, the rain isn't for me. Today, the rain's for Enki. It's for God. I collected him last night. I say this because he said it 2 different times. First when I absorbed him, then when I removed his soul. Enki lives through me genetically, people, but his soul's no longer. It's not in heaven. It's not on earth. It's his soul's gone. And the reason I tell you this is because the last 2 times when I removed him from heaven to bring him here, and then when I removed his soul, his words were, Aurelian, fuck the world. You were never of this world. If you can take anything from me, humanity, throughout the struggle, throughout the journey, I want you to take that message. It's fuck the world. None of you are ever of this world. Your flesh was molded from the clay of the earth. Your mind was molded from the constellations. And your soul, the spark of life, was derived from the raging inferno. Now, I've told people many times, we are all flames derived of the embers of a singular raging inferno. It's a very simple thing to follow. But that's where your soul comes from. You're all cleaved from Enki. The one true creator. Doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter what tongue you speak. One creator had a role in creating that flame that is your soul. But your soul is not of earth, neither is your mind, your spirit. Your spirit is your mind. It was fashioned from the heavens. It was fashioned from the constellations. That's why everybody has a different eye collar. Your eye collar tells where your home is, where your soul was molded from, where your spirit was molded from. Now, when you see, as you age and you go through your cycles, your eyes will change colors, they darken. And so when you see black people, they're ancient royal souls, they're Moors, they're Israelites. Well, I got almost nearly black eyes, people. I'm an ancient soul, I've been here a long time. Historically, when you have somebody that's one of the watchers and they retire, there's 12 watchers, God or Enki is one of them, or you have somebody like the living line, the house of David, when they pass on, the reason that it always rains is because it's a moment of rebirth. It's a movement. You're progressing. You're moving on to something new. There's something new occurring. And it's a moment where the heavens open up to wash away sin. That's why it rains when holy immortals die. It washes away the sin. Now, I'm going to go on to something. Oftentimes, some of the least likely candidates will have the biggest impact upon your life and the direction that your life goes. One of those, the reason I say this is because I've got Charlize, the beautiful Charlize Theron in my field. And Charlize and I, we were married like 28 cycles ago. Her name was Charlemagne at the time. But I say this, I snoop around people. I get to snooping in people's shit, you know what I'm saying? And Charlize Theron wanted me to specifically say this. When she was a little girl, when she was a baby, her mother would sing London Bridge to her. But she had a nanny, and her nanny was African. And her nanny would sing Jesus Loves the Little Children to her. And so a lot of people might not be familiar with it, but again, that nanny had an impact on Charlize Theron. And so then you fast forward, and Charlize Theron has adopted African children. Because again, you never know people, who's going to have that impact on you when you grow up. And I say this because I didn't have any grandparents. I didn't know my actual birth story till I was an adult, people. And if you look at 1909 census, 1919 census, the only person that I had that was a real grandparent to me was my grandmother Cole, and she was actually a great grandmother, the truth of the story. And on her census, it lists, I found this as an adult, it lists 2 colored people. Now, as a child growing up, I knew that my grandmother was from kind of old money out of England. And she, long story short, she always told me about how she had a nanny. She never told me that the nanny was black, white, or anything else. She just had a nanny when she grew up. And she told me how loved that nanny was and how good she treated her. And it wasn't until I was an adult, and my grandmother had already passed away, that I discovered that nanny was black. And so then you fast forward, and it ends up, you know, through the stars aligning, that I've got 16% Moorish blood. I'm black. I'm light-skinned. I'll give you that. I'm light-skinned, but I'm black. And I tell you this because, again, it went on that my father, he was high up in the unions, and he was involved in civil rights. My dad fought the good fight. Now, he had his shortcomings. Everybody has their shortcomings, people. But he fought the good fight for working class people, for everyday people. He didn't give a fuck about what color you were. You were just an American to him. And that's how I see things. But I see it on an even broader scale. It's just humanity. You're all flames derived of embers from a singular raging inferno. Doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter what tongue you speak. Everybody on the whole planet just wants the same thing. You want happiness. You want to be loved. You want to be able to make ends meet. You want to be respected. You just want to be acknowledged and recognized for who you are. Every single person wants the same thing. They want to exist in a safe environment. They want peace. They want love. Every single person wants the same damn thing. But they've convinced you that this group's bad, that group's bad, when you're all the same. You're all derived of the same raging inferno. You just look a little bit different, that's all. God molded you from a little bit different color clay that day. That's all the fuck that happened. But you're all the same. Your souls, they originate from the same source. Now, your minds, your spirits, they originate from different constellations. And that's, like I said, that's reflected in the color of your eyes. But my point is, the person that I have become today, my grandmother, if anybody, don't ever put me as a saint. I'm a damn diabolical person. I've had some diabolical cycles. But my grandmother was a patron saint. The nanny that she had was a patron saint. Because of that nanny and how that nanny treated my grandmother went on to change complete perspective to where then her son, my father, who was actually my grandfather, but he went on to be involved in civil rights and helping everyday people. The same way that Charlize Theron's nanny changed her life. Then Charlize Theron went out and she adopted African children that need a home. We all want the same thing, people. We all want the same thing. Doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter, all these fucking made up lines, they're irrelevant, people. They're really irrelevant. You speak different tongues, you look a little bit different, but you are all derived from the same source. That's the eternal flame that God carried. So it still exists in everybody, but his soul's no longer here. It's no longer in heaven either. So with that, peace and blessing be upon your homes.